Hey, what's up guys? We back at it again with another review. And this time we're going to be talking about a pilot for a show that never got a chance to become a real series. What show, you might ask? Well, if you read the title, you could probably take a pretty good guess at it.
You don't say!
If you haven't seen the pilot yet, I would highly suggest you go watch it.
Call me anytime on my cell phone.
Before watching this video, the show we're going to be looking over for today is called A Kitty Bobo Show. Now, what is a Kitty Bobo Show, you might ask? A Kitty Bobo Show is an American animated pilot created by Kevin Gallagher and Megan Dunn and produced by Cartoon Network Studios for, and guess who? Cartoon Network. If that wasn't obvious enough. The pilot revolves around the main character, Kitty Bobo, and his three friends as he tries to prove his coolness to them. Kitty Bobo being voiced by DANTE BASCO, who might be famously known for his roles in American Dragon as Jake Long and Avatar: The Last Airbender as Zuko the Fire Prince. Which before that, most might have mainly knew him for his role in the 1991 movie Hook as this guy.
That is so dangerous. Who's in charge here?
We kill pirates.
I'm not a pirate. So happens, I am a lawyer. Kill the lawyer!
The rough and tough leader of the kids in Neverland, Rufio. This dude was just such a badass. But back to the main reason we're all here. It's for that A Kitty Bobo Show. Now, the pilot was optioned by the Walt Disney Company before being turned down by them. Cartoon Network then stepped in and approached Dunn in Los Angeles. Then a comic strip employee who had just moved into Network was impressed with her work and an independent comic she's been making, which had spread through word of mouth, then landed her a job at Cartoon Network Studios. And a few years later, she and Gallagher produced a pilot for A Kitty Bobo Show. The premise is roughly based on Dunn's life, as she was adopted herself, thus the reason for Kitty Bobo's parents being dogs, while Bobo himself is obviously a cat.
Do you have a quarter? Never mind.
The main character used in A Kitty Bobo had previously been featured in a comic strip created by Dunn called The Kimchi Girl, in which the pilot aired in August 17, 2001 on the network as part of their Big Pit competition, which was a marathon of 10 pilots where viewers must select their favorite one to be produced and made into a full series for the network's fall 2002 season. The series lost second place only to the show CODENAME Kids Next Door, which is a very great show, and that was a super tough competition, and we all know how K&D did. And at the time, Kitty Bobo was just not what most kids was finding interesting. It was a great show, and I think would have done a lot better if it was pitched for Adult Swim or a different network, and then could be used in them rating as an advantage to take the creator's creativity to a whole new level. At least I think it definitely would have lasted one season with a show with such potential. With a series not being appealing to most of the audience for the network, with dealing with things like a rocky relationship, coolness to society, family diversities, adult technology, and finding their place in the world. Well, yeah, that's kind of a turnoff for some kids, yeah, probably most kids, but it would be more suited for a more mature audience. Kind of like how Mission Hill was for most of us back then, and how BoJack Horseman is for us today. To the setting of where Bobo Show took place, we have what it looks like a New York-style metropolitan area with busy railways, overflowing traffic, and a high population, but it has a nice vibe to where it takes place, with a seeming very busy atmosphere and full of culture and diversity, hence why so many different kinds of animals work so well with this show. The characters' designs are not the most elaborate out there, but they are each very unique and recognizable in their own way, with a wide range of attitudes and style. Now let me get into the four main characters of this show.
To infinity and beyond!
Starting off with Paul Dog, probably the most sophisticated of the group. He's about 20-year-old, and he's a dog. If you times that by dog years, he dead, because that's like 140. But he is one of Kitty Bobo's best and closest friends. Paul is a laid-back, easygoing. He likes to stay in his comfort zone and cares little for what others think of him. Just as Maggie is irritated by Kitty Bobo's awkwardness, but unlike her, he attempts to help Bobo out with his crazy schemes.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he was all sad.
Huh, so he fell for it.
Oh yeah.
Also, fun fact, being voiced by Chris Williams, so if you're a Crash Bandicoot fan like me, you might have heard his voice before. He also voices Crunch Bandicoot in the Crash games, the genetically altered Bandicoot who was originally created by Dr. Neo Cortex to destroy Crash Bandicoot and one of the main antagonists he would confront in the games. Then we get to the second character, Monkey Carl.
Hey, what's up? Hey, Bobo, are you at the library?
He's a 19 to 20-year-old monkey who is one of Kitty Bobo's best and closest friends. Carl is very, very chill and easily the quietest of the group, but is constantly surprised by Kitty Bobo's lack of judgment. He likes computers and staying at home. We also have the third character. We have Maggie, which it seems like she would be the love interest of the show for Kitty Bobo. Maggie is a 19 to 21-year-old pink cat who is one of Kitty Bobo's best and closest friends. Maggie is down-to-earth, moody, mature, hard to impress, and somehow very passionate. Maggie is constantly annoyed by Kitty Bobo's awkward attempts to become cool and acts if she is the voice of reason in most of the cases. Nevertheless, despite of Kitty's immaturity, Maggie shows much interest in Kitty Bobo, as Paul suggested by saying,
But you guys go and have a good time.
before she and Kitty Bobo entered in a cinema alone. As far as work goes, Maggie works in an office company. Plus, she also loves horror movies and being on time for things. Fun fact, her voice actress, Leela Lee, she was a main writer for the show Anger Management. You know the one with Charlie Sheen. And for our main star of the show, we got Kitty Bobo. Kitty Bobo is always trying to be fashionable and act cool in front of others and become popular. Nevertheless, his awkward attempts to do so, plus his lack of consciousness of the world around him, constantly bring embarrassment to him and his friends. Mostly for Maggie, who considers Kitty Bobo's clueless personality a real nuisance. Yeah, but with all these characters being very genuine and relatable, I can see why there is much to gain from a show like this, but also why it just came at the wrong time. If it was pitched maybe in 2010 when regular show was, getting its ground start running, it might have had a higher chance of being greenlit for a series. The jokes in Kitty Bobo were kind of hit and miss. Some were pretty funny, some were pretty lame. Here's one of the jokes that I really enjoyed.
Dude, you should have seen him.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he was all sad.
Huh, so he fell for it.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely way cooler than him now.
Oh, really?
Graffiti?
That's right, Bobo. I'm here with your honey. I hope you don't mind. Now, let me tell you what I was gonna tell you before. You may have a cell phone, Kitty Bobo, but you are never gonna be cool.
I'm the main bitch around this town. You'll never be cooler than me. But the main character in the episode isn't entirely very likable, and I think that was another reason why the series didn't stand as tall as it could have. Him being very inconsiderate was funny for a little bit, maybe 2 or 3 minutes, but it got tiresome after a while. I couldn't find myself rooting for the main character, and with a show, you kind of want to be rooting for the main character, or at least somebody. The animation was something unique at the time and was relaxing and very chill. Nothing too amazing, but it was nice to look at and it had its own unique style to it, so I could feel what the writer and the creator were going for. A storyboard for the second episode had been fully produced and completed in 2002, and it was ordered by Cartoon Network itself. Had the series been picked up, a Kitty Bobo show would have been the first to have a woman as the creator. Wow, that's pretty amazing. Before Julie McAnally-Cahill is co-creator of My Gym Partner is a Monkey, she was the first co-creator, and Rebecca Sugar is sole creator of Steven Universe, and Julia Pott is the creator of the upcoming Summer Camp Island. And don't get me started on that show. Yeah, we mad. Like, what the fuck, man? Who created this reject-looking hedgehog bullshit?
Ugh, this is the first time that anyone has criticized my artistic vision. Ugh.
In fall of 2005, Callagher pitched to Walt Disney Television Animation the pilot's revised version of the Kitty Bobo show, with the characters being a bit younger, but it was still not picked up. Callagher even released a 50-page Bible in 2006, exploring the whole Kitty Bobo's universe in more depth. And if you're wondering what the creator of Megan Dunn is up to these days, she's been trying to get her new series out there called Chole and the Stars. which you can now support her on her Patreon, which I'll leave the link down below. Dunn since then has returned to her hometown of Bucks County, Pennsylvania in August 2010 to start her own animation and graphic design company named Dunnamic. You get it? It's like dynamic.
Bye. A what?
Dunn kept files for her work though of a Kitty Bobo show at Cartoon Network on a hard drive, which if needed it can be repaired before they could be retrieved and used for future projects. With her company no longer a startup, she and her employees developed the final designs for the characters of Chole and the Stars and storyboarded its pilot. Upon receiving an animatic of the pilot, FREDERATOR Studios has decided to heavily donate and promote the series on a Kickstarter. And at this moment, that is her main focus. So will Kitty Bobo ever make its return? Will it ever become a show? We just don't even know. All we know, it was a pretty cool show, and maybe someday it will rise up again and be a new cartoon in the face of all of us, even though most of us are probably watching Netflix. This has been Corey, and thanks for watching. If you enjoyed my video, just make sure to like and subscribe. If you hate it, hey, leave me a cool stupid comment in the comments below. So until next time, take care and stay awesome. Corey out. Peace.
We're outnumbered, outgunned.
I have a chance so long as I have this! This is gonna be a little more difficult. People of Vanna, Zong laid waste to our planet, but together, we're taking it back!
Can we go to the bathroom first?
Yes! I've been waiting 13 years for this.
It's showtime!
Let's kick some asteroids! Chunk, you can do this.
I don't do well under pressure. That's gonna hurt.